Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Donald Trump entered the White House as a businessman, not a politician. He promised to shake up Washington and put America first. One of his main tools? The tariff, a tax on imported goods. For decades, America favored low tariffs to keep trade flowing and prices down. Trump flipped the script, using tariffs as a weapon to protect American jobs and factories. He argued that foreign countries were flooding the U.S. with cheap goods, hurting American workers. By making foreign products more expensive, he hoped Americans would buy more US-made goods. This was a dramatic break from past presidents and global trade norms. Trump's tariffs weren't just about economics, they were about power and leverage. He used them to pressure China, Mexico, and even US allies. Critics feared this would spark trade wars, raising prices for everyone. But for Trump, it was a fight worth having. He imposed tariffs on a massive scale, often announcing them suddenly, even on social media. This unpredictability kept other countries and businesses off balance. The constant changes created uncertainty, but also signaled action to his supporters. Trump's aggressive use of tariffs was both a negotiating tactic and a show of strength. He wanted to prove he was willing to disrupt the status quo for American interests. The strategy was risky, but it energized his base. For Trump, tariffs became a symbol of his promise to remake the American economy. Whether they worked or not, they changed the conversation about trade, and they set the stage for even bigger moves to come. By late 2025, Trump's tariff strategy had evolved. Now he's pushing for a universal baseline tariff, a tax on nearly all imports, no matter the country. This is a huge leap from his earlier targeted tariffs. The goal forced companies to bring factories and jobs back to the U.S. Trump claims this will create millions of jobs and make America less dependent on foreign goods. The new plan flips the old model. High tariffs are the default, and only friends get exemptions. It's a blunt, aggressive approach designed for maximum leverage in negotiations. Simpler rules, fewer loopholes, and a clear message. Buy American or pay the price. Trump frames it as a straightforward fix to a complex problem. The strategy is easy to explain and resonates with voters who feel left behind. It's built for headlines, rallies, and a new era of economic nationalism. Whether it works or not, it's a bold bet on America first, and it's changing the rules of global trade. Trump's new tariff plan is shaking up Washington. Trade policy used to be slow, careful, and handled by many agencies in Congress. Now, Trump is using executive power, bypassing traditional channels. He relies on old laws that let the president act in the name of national security. This has rattled career officials and sparked resignations. Congress is uneasy. Some members worry Trump is grabbing too much power. They fear tariffs will hurt businesses and farmers in their own states. The Constitution gives Congress power over trade, but Trump is stretching that authority. The old system is under stress, and the balance of power is shifting. The debate, should trade decisions be quick and bold or careful and shared? Trump's approach is confrontational, upending decades of consensus. The process of making policy is changing as much as the policy itself. Washington is learning to operate in a new, more unpredictable world. The Supreme Court now finds itself in the middle of the tariff storm. Historically, the justices avoid wading into trade and foreign policy fights. But Trump's aggressive use of tariffs has triggered a wave of legal challenges. Businesses and states argue he's overstepped his authority. The court has mostly sidestepped big rulings, sending cases back to lower courts. They're cautious, wary of making sweeping decisions that could reshape presidential power. The justices hope Congress will clarify the law, but pressure is mounting. If the court rules for Trump, it could expand presidential power for generations. If it rules against him, it could spark a constitutional crisis. For now, the court is watching, waiting, and delaying. But it can't avoid the issue forever. The stakes for the balance of power in America have never been higher. The clash between Trump's administration and the courts is real and ongoing. In one major case, steel importers challenged Trump's tariffs, arguing he abused his power. The law he used, Section 232, was never meant for sweeping tariffs on allies. Lower courts split, some sided with Trump, others warned of executive overreach. The Supreme Court stepped in, but only to demand more transparency and proper procedure. They didn't strike down the law, but insisted the White House follow the rules. This shifted the fight from big constitutional questions to technical battles over paperwork. Trump's team responded with more detailed justifications, but critics called them window dressing. The result, a constant tug-of-war between bold executive action and legal challenges. The courts haven't settled the big questions, but they've forced the administration to play by the book. The legal battle over tariffs is now a defining feature of American politics. Tariffs aren't just a Washington fight, they hit home for every American. When tariffs raise import costs, companies pass those costs to consumers. Prices go up on everything from washing machines to cars to groceries. Some U.S. industries, like steel, benefit, but others, like car makers and farmers, get squeezed. Retaliation from other countries hurts American exports, especially agriculture. Allies see Trump's tariffs as hostile, straining relationships and global cooperation. The world's trading system, built on decades of partnership, is under stress. Americans face a choice: accept higher prices for more self-sufficiency, or embrace global trade and competition. Trump's strategy forces everyone to rethink what America first really means. The decisions made now will shape jobs, prices, and America's place in the world for years. The impact is personal, political, and global. The future of America's trade policy is wide open. Trump's universal tariff plan could trigger new legal battles and force the Supreme Court to finally draw the line on presidential power. The court's next moves could redefine the balance between Congress, the president, and the courts for a generation. High tariffs might mean more U.S. manufacturing, but also higher prices and global tension. A legal or political shift could bring back lower tariffs and more global trade. The stakes, not just the price of goods, but the very nature of American power and identity. The world is watching as America decides its next move. The story of tariffs is now a story about who gets to shape the future of the nation.